Will and Jada Smith's marriage. Jaguar Wright reveals dirty secrets. Jaguar Wright is back, and this time she's taking everyone on a wild ride to Will and Jada Smith's marriage. Everybody knows Will and Jada, one of the Hollywood's power couples. A lot of fans love them, but their love slowly turned sour as more and more allegations about them surfaced. Since Will slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars due to a joke about Jada, speculation about the nature of Will and Jada's marriage has intensified. Some believed Will was venting his frustration over Jada's relationship with August Alsina on Chris, while others accused Jada of being controlling and influencing Will. All these speculations about Will and Jada have been finally answered since Jaguar Wright has been so willing to divulge the couple's secret. What's even wilder was that August was not the only man that Jada had a relationship with, according to Jaguar. He kept dropping more names of Jada's alleged men like it was nothing. Let's get into the tea. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's relationship has changed from being a highly admired marriage to the epitome of a problematic celebrity couple. In the past few years, everyone's admiration for the couple has slowly turned into annoyance, and they're getting on everyone's nerves. There was even a petition asking all news outlets to stop interviewing the couple. Their openness to talk about what's going on in their marriage was just too much, and fans refused to listen to any of it. Speculation about Will and Jada having an open marriage has been persistent for a long time, but it reached a peak when Jada confirmed her involvement with August Alsina. In an episode of Red Table Talk, Jada opened up with Will about her relationship with August, saying, 4.5 years ago, I started a friendship with August and we actually became really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. August has faced numerous health issues, including eye and liver diseases, a temporary loss of mobility, and a previous Percocet addiction. Jada revealed she was introduced to August by her son Jaden during a difficult period in her marriage with Will. From there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. It was a relationship, absolutely. Jada faced criticism over her relationship with August, with fans and celebrities alleging she took advantage of him when he was in a vulnerable state. Charlamagne the God was candid on The Breakfast Club while talking about Jada's admission on her Red Table Talk show about her involvement with August, saying, Jada Pinkett Smith was dead wrong. That young man came to her broken, in need of healing, and her response is, I wanted to feel good. I haven't felt good in a long time. So you slept with him. Never mind how this young man is feeling, you just gotta get yours. That is the epitome of toxic behavior. Charlamagne was critical of Jada for exhibiting toxic masculinity instead of the divine feminine, and for offering advice on her show without having fully addressed her own issues. He was particularly disappointed with the Smiths' closing statement in the episode, where they jokingly proclaimed, we ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life. Then the Oscar-slapping incident occurred when Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's shaved head. Will initially laughed out, but upon noticing Jada's rolled eyes, walked onto the stage and slapped Chris in the face. When a fan asked Will if Jada said anything to him when Chris made that joke, Will said that he was not ordered by Jada to do anything. He said, I made a choice on my own from my own experiences from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it. A video resurfaced showing Will looking uncomfortable and upset that Jada was filming him without his consent. However, Jada dismissed Will's request to stop filming, saying that she was still dealing with foolishness. This video clip somehow raised issues that have been circulating that suggested Will is a victim of psychological abuse and Jada is a narcissistic individual who uses men for her own benefit. Some fans have also speculated that Will's reluctance to divorce Jada may be due to the manipulation and a sense of inferiority. It's reported that when Will first met Jada on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1999, he was intimidated to approach her due to her close relationship with Tupac Shakur. Will has admitted multiple times to his feelings of jealousy regarding Jada and Tupac's relationship. During a 2020 interview on The Breakfast Club, Will shared what he truly felt about Tupac and Jada's relationship. Oh my god, that dude, and that was in the early days too. That was a big regret for me because I could never open up to interact with Pac. We had a little bit of a thing because they grew up together and they loved each other, but they never had a sexual relationship. But then coming to that age where now that was a possibility, and Jada was with me, so Pac had a little thing on that. But she just loved him. He was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince. Even though Tupac passed away shortly after Will and Jada started dating, Jada made it very clear, even in her marriage to Will, that Tupac would always hold a special place in her heart. In the second episode of Red Table Talk, Jada talked about the greatest loss in her life, saying, "I've had a lot of loss. So many of my close friends are gone. They didn't make it to 30. They didn't make it past 25. A lot of people talk about my relationship with Pac and figured that out. That was a huge loss in my life, because he was one of those people I expected to be here. My upset is angrier because I feel like he left me, and I know that's not true and it's a very selfish way to think about it. I really did believe he'd be here for the long run, and when I think about it, I still get really mad." Jada has taken steps to ensure that her children with Will understand the special relationship she had with Tupac. When Will and Jada's daughter Willow was 11 years old, she wrote a letter to Tupac asking for him to return so her mother could be happy. She wrote, "Dear Tupac, I know you are alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and I can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." This highlighted Jada's infatuation with Tupac up until now. Will has remained married to Jada despite her repeated public humiliations, and there are multiple theories as to why. Some people believe that Will is a victim of Jada's narcissistic behavior and is unable to break free. However, Will himself has stated that people misunderstand their relationship, and he and Jada have an agreement where they both have the freedom to do what they want. Will's interview with GQ magazine in September 2021, in which he stated that Jada's entanglement was not fully understood by fans, and that he too had entanglements with other people. However, many fans were not buying it and thought that this was Will's way to save his and Jada's image. However, there's another reason why Will and Jada remain together despite the strange practices in their marriage. Singer and songwriter Jaguar Wright has revealed that the truth about their marriage is even more unsettling than people realize. Keep in mind that Jaguar is a credible source that has previously exposed numerous celebrities without facing legal consequences. She's been in the music industry since the 1990s and has close connections with major artists including Jay-Z and The Roots, which allows her to have insider knowledge of the dark secrets of the music industry. Jaguar has made previous serious allegations against many celebrities, but they never pursued legal action, which suggested that she may be credible. The fact that she feels confident enough to speak out supports the idea that she has evidence to back up her claims. Fans even named Jaguar the ultimate truth teller about the lives of celebrities. So what truth was Jaguar talking about in Will and Jada's marriage? Jaguar recently gave a revealing interview on the YouTube channel Real Life Productions, where she spoke about the negative aspects of Hollywood and implicated several celebrities, including Jay-Z, Diddy, and Will and Jada. When questioned about Will slapping Chris at the Oscars, Jaguar confirmed the widely held belief that Jada prompted Will to do so, resulting in public embarrassment. She said, "Something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that bad joke that Chris said like everybody else, and then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate." Jaguar also dismissed the idea that Will was only defending Jada from the insult Chris threw at her. Jaguar insisted that Will and Jada's marriage was a sham, and people should just stop thinking that it was just based on real love and affection. According to Jaguar, Will has low self-esteem due to Jada's fixation on Tupac, which is why Jada felt comfortable confessing her relationship with August to Will. She added that Will would never be Tupac, and Jada proved this with her relationship with Alsina. She also said that Jada and Will are both bisexual and they have manipulated and traumatized young men like Meek Mill and Bryce Gray in the industry while pretending to be their mentors. They're both bis. Well, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their houses screaming to get away from them and their mentorship. Meek Mill, Bryce Gray, left that house screaming. August was the only one who stayed. I guess he was really sick. He needed out, and that was their kid's friend. However, Jaguar's accusations didn't stop there. She also claimed that Will and Jada used to do weird stuff with other celebrities, but as they got older, she alleged that the same things were happening now to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's home. Jaguar continued to accuse Will and Jada as well as Dwayne and Gabrielle of being deceptive about their supposed black love in public while engaging in concerning behavior in private, including exploiting young people. The artist she spoke to recently was invited to a party at Dwayne and Gabrielle's house and saw naked young and old boys in the back. Despite these allegations, no one wants to admit to being a victim, and they all pretend to be friends. Jaguar also said that Jada has some weird power and control over Will, which is why it's easy for her to manipulate her husband. Will slapped Chris because he was told to do so through Jada's eyes. He also implied that their children must have witnessed a lot of weird things going on in their household and wondered why the CPS did not pay them a visit. Jaguar was asked why Will remained in his troubled marriage despite the kids being grown and finances not being a concern. She replied that Will was either afraid or being blackmailed to stay. She added that if he's still here now, it's because he's either too scared to leave or too comfortable and unable to leave. Jaguar's interview caused a social media frenzy, and many fans seem to believe her allegations. The seriousness of the accusations has led many to question why she would risk her own career and possibly even her life if she was not telling the truth, suggesting that she has proof. In spite of all these accusations that Jaguar made, no celebrity has come forward to comment. Was Jaguar really telling the truth about them? What are your thoughts about Jaguar's claims? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned for more interesting videos. Are you not entertained? If you are, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.